Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Techno Talks here. So in front of us today, we do have yet another case by Spigen for the Google Pixel 9 Pro XL. This time around, this is one of the cases that I really do adore from Spigen, and that is going to be the Tough Armor case. So without further ado, let's go ahead and begin. Starting off the packaging, as you can see, we do have a nice little image of the case right here, made for Google Pixel, and then we also do get the color down here and also the model of device, which I already said, and other than that, not really much else. So let's go ahead and open this up, pulling this tab, all right, and taking the case out of its box and pulling it out of the pouch. Here we have a first look at the Spigen Tough Armor case. So I will go ahead and let you guys know everything that I really enjoy about this case and why this is one of my favorite cases by Spigen. Alright, starting off, before placing the phone inside, let's go ahead and take a look inside. So the Tough Armor case is Spigen's strongest case. It's their most durable, most rugged case, and we do get very nice pads inside of here to get that extra shock absorption. We also do have their air shock technology, so we do have very tiny holes right there on the edges, so when you do place the phone inside, it traps air inside of there, and it does give you more shock resistance when you do drop it on its sides. Talking about the sides, we also do have the foam layer on the inside as well, or the absorbing pad. I'm not exactly sure what it's made of, but it is there to absorb that shock. Alright, so placing our phone inside, we're going to go ahead and start from the right side. That's where all the buttons are. Just push down from both edges, and then just push down completely from the other sides, and boom, that is going to be it. So our Google Pixel 9 Pro XL is inside of the Spigen Tough Armor case. Alright, taking a look at the back real quick, we can see that we do have a nice lip going around the camera lenses. It doesn't seem like a very large lip, however, that is because the whole of the case is a lot thicker on the back side, so it actually goes above the lenses, even though that lip doesn't look very tall. But again, that actually is a benefit of this case. Now the back is almost completely flat, so as you can see, it barely shakes, or it doesn't even shake at all. So that is actually an added benefit. Once again, this is going to be a thick case, so if you are looking for a rugged case, you can't really think too much about that. But again, it is thinner than many other cases. So that is going to be the lip right there. On the back, we also do have a very nice kickstand. It does say Spigen right there, and that is another reason I do really love this case. It's a very simple kickstand, which I will get to at the end. Other than that, on the back, we can also see that this is a two-part case, so we do have this more rubber textured material right here, and then we do have this hard plastic on the back, so you can actually separate this into two, which I will also go ahead and show you guys. Moving on to the right side, we do get a little more branding. It does say Tough Armor down there. We do get our power button right here. It does have a texture to it, so you can actually feel it when it's in your pocket. We do have a plus and minus for the volume rocker, plus for up, minus for down, and then on the top end, we do have a nice little cutout for our microphone right there. On the left side, we don't have anything, obviously, because the phone doesn't have anything. And on the bottom, we do have our USB-C charging port cut out, our speaker grill, and our microphone cut out. Moving on to the front, we do have a nice raised lip that's going all across the display. So if you do drop it on its face, your phone should be perfectly fine. I don't know if you've noticed, but I do have a screen protector on here. This is from Caseology. Even though Spigen is their parent company, it's still a third-party case that Spigen doesn't make. And as you can see, it fits perfectly with the Tough Armor case. So it's going to be edge to edge. I hope this doesn't lift it. It doesn't seem like it's touching anywhere. But once again, if the case was just a tad bit thicker or went into the display just a tad bit more, it might actually push into the screen protector. But again, for now, it does seem like it is screen protector compatible with many screen protectors. Up top, we do have a cutout for our speaker grill, so we're not going to be losing out on any sound quality there. Okay, so moving on, I do want to talk about the buttons real quick. So let's go ahead and do that buttons test, starting off with the power button in 3, 2, 1. Very nice and easy to click, and that's not something that you'd actually expect from a case that is fairly thick. And then moving on to the volume rocker. Once again, very nice and easy to click. I am noticing that the volume up button is just a tad bit harder to click. You kind of have to apply just a tad bit more force, but overall, it does feel very nice for a case of this size. So taking a look at the back, once again, I did talk about that kickstand right there. So this kickstand is actually very simple, but this was one of my favorite cases that I used on my Samsung Galaxy S10e, and I did use it throughout other phones while I was testing it. Honestly, it's a very nice and simple kickstand right here. As you can see, you can lay it down like this in horizontal mode, either in that way or this way like this. Unfortunately, you can't really do vertical. It doesn't really work, but I've never really used a kickstand for vertical, so that has never been an issue for me. But once again, it's a very nice and durable case. Will protect your phone from basically any kind of drop, which is what happened with my devices. I dropped them a lot, and with this case, I've never had any issues. None of those phones had cracked. And then the kickstand, it's very simple, but it does last a long time. It lasted a very good amount of time on my S10e case until I eventually got rid of that device, but that kickstand still did work even after. So for a case of this size and with this type of protection and also the added benefit of this kickstand, I honestly think this is one of Spigen's best cases. However, I haven't really been using this as phones have been getting bigger. A thicker case doesn't really feel as good in the hand as it did with those smaller devices. So I really haven't been using this much with those bigger phones. But again, this is still one of my favorite cases by Spigen. Before ending it off, I do want to go ahead and take the phone out and actually show you guys the two-part thing about this case. So basically, if you do pull from the sides, which you don't really do with this case, it's just so I can show you guys, we do have the hard plastic on the back plate right there, and then this is going to be the soft plastic right here, and this is to absorb that shock. So we do get that hard plastic to protect the back, and this really doesn't feel well on the edges. That's why this is on the back mainly. And then we do get this softer plastic for the volume marker and the general absorption of that shock. And again, if you do ever remove it to place it back on, all you have to do is just push down, just make sure everything fits in place, and boom, that's about it. So really nothing else to it. It's not too hard to replace or just take out. You don't really need to, but again, I did want to show you guys how that worked. And now we do have a functioning case once again. So that will basically wrap it up for this video. As always, if you did enjoy this video, make sure to like and subscribe. And if you do want to check this product out, there will be a link in the description. So see y'all in the next one.